Hi, folks. I'm John Sebastian. You know, jug band music has always been a big part of my musical journey. From my early days in Greenwich Village to the formation of our band, the Lovin Spoonful, to my current stuff, jug band music has been a constant influence. The early jug band recordings were popular in the 1920s, but by the early 1930s, the fad was over. But in 1952, an experimental filmmaker and 78 record collector by the name of Harry Smith compiled a number of his recordings and released them in a multi-album collection called The Anthology of American Folk Music. That collection was catnip for us young guitar players who were looking for the real next thing. Folk music became popular again after World War II, and I had a front seat living on Washington Square West. My father, John Sebastian, was the greatest classical harmonica player that's ever lived. And my mom, Jane Sebastian, was a radio scriptwriter and a manager at Carnegie Hall. When you called Carnegie Hall, you got Jane. Folk icons such as Woody Guthrie and Burl Ives were guests at our apartment and ate too much. When I was 16 years old, my father participated in a show for CBS called Patterns for Words and Music, which also included Joan Baez and a recently rediscovered Texas blues man named Sam Lightnin' Hopkins. My father took me to that taping, and once I saw Lightnin' Hopkins, I was hooked. My father always referred to it as the night that I left home. I actually served as Lightnin's road manager, lead boy, assistant, and his rediscovery led to the rediscovery of other older Southern blues men that were featured on the Smith Anthology, such as jug band musicians Gus Cannon and Mississippi John Hurt. I recently got together with some of my old jug band pals. We started reminiscing about Mississippi John Hurt and the enormous effect that he'd had on all of us. Take a look. I'd been watching him a long time, and I leaned in and I said, "John, I'm loving this. I just don't know what you're doing." And John Hurt, you know, he had a kind of a Mayor Baba quality about him. It really wasn't all about blues guy. There was something really special about this guy, but he always had these great little comments, like when he said, "Well, you just get this thumb thing going, you know? Just going back and forth like this. And then the other fingers, well, they'd just follow along. I started trying to imitate John Hurt. I'd be spending days in my bedroom going, I'm gonna get it, don't worry, I'm gonna get it. Well, eventually, I turned up a bass player wandering around Greenwich Village. Wonderful guy. He's put up with 50 years of the Lovin Spoonful. I only lasted 5, so I have to say the guy deserves a real hand, not only for playing wonderful, but also because he put up with us folding him up to fit in the closet of the teeny hotel room that we had. That was how we managed to get all those people in one room. So I'd really like to bring out my dear friend and bandmate, Steve Boone, on the bass. Here he comes. That's it, man. That's what we want. And you know, as long as we're getting into some dangerous territory here, we have to bring up some dangerous people. I was in a band called the Black Italians. And the 2 members that certainly excited me, I started off just having a wonderful time playing with Jimmy Vivino. That's right. But then, that's right. But then Jimmy Vivino showed up one day with James Wormworth. And James, come on out, please, James. What we didn't know when we first heard James was that he's like 3rd generation drumming. This is why it doesn't sound like everybody else. And it was why I turned to Jimmy in the midst of our little set that we were doing. I said, if we had this guy, we could be a jug band. If you are wondering what I'm gonna do while you are sleeping, am I sleeping too? Well, I'm just sitting here loving you, close my eyes and loving you. I'm just sitting back, sitting here loving you. I have been wondering just what I would do if I weren't sleeping, had I not found you. Well, I'd be outside finding you, walking all the avenues finding you. But I'm just sitting back, sitting here loving you. Now the reason never sent me running round, fingers on my forehead calm me down. She couldn't even get me up on my feet when I got to take care of some business on the street. I have been walking all my streets alone. I would keep walking, keep from going home. Couldn't quite clearly conceive me, now can't see ever leaving you. But I'm just sitting back, sitting here loving you. reason to ever send me running round. Fingers on my forehead, calm me down. She can even get me up on my feet. Well, I got to take care of some business on the street. I have been walking all my streets alone. I would keep walking, keep from going home. Couldn't quite clearly conceive me. Now I can't see never leaving you. But I'm just sitting back, sitting here loving you. Yeah, I'm just sitting back, sitting here loving you. You know what I feel like we're missing?
Women.
I couldn't have put it better, Jim. Well, we would definitely like to invite one of your townspeople up here. Because really, nobody that plays this instrument like Cindy Cashdollar. Man, that's a good hat, Cindy. That's
and the coat.
Now, Grandpa Johnny, he was short and stout. You could hear him grouch out the side of his mouth. He held your tune around the side of the house and said, just don't stop till you're all worn out. Now my pal Terry, he's a roustabout. He can slam that piano till the poop comes out. He keeps on pounding till the people shout. They say, just don't stop till you're all worn out. Don't stop. Come on, can we hear you? Don't stop. Don't stop. I say, just don't stop till you're all worn out. Now when it's right, here's how it goes. You can feel it clear down to your toes. When people ask you what it's all about, you tell them just don't stop till you're all worn out. Don't stop. Don't stop. Don't stop now, baby. Don't stop. I say just don't stop till you're all worn out. So when it's right, here's how it goes. You can feel it clear down to your toes. When people ask you what it's all about, you tell them just don't stop till you're all worn out. Don't stop. Don't stop. Don't stop. I say just don't stop till you're all worn out. 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 Now, before the formation of the Lovin Spoonful, I became a big fan of the Jim Quesan Jug Band. Led by this charismatic finger picker, Jim Quesan, who had this wonderful riverboat gambler aura about him. The group was the definition of hipness. Two members of the group that had a significant impact on me. One was the vocalist Jeff Muldor, with this incredible blues voice that just knocked your socks off, and I would later imitate him while I was singing Daydream. And the jug player, Fritz Richmond, he was one of a kind. This was the dawn of cool. He played washtub bass and jug with the finesse of a classical musician. And he was the first guy that had little funny round glasses. He made them out of flash blue cobalt glass, and when you wore them, you looked stoned, no matter what state you were in. It was Fritz who gave the Lovin Spoonful its name. I was describing the band to Fritz, and I said I wanted it to be a cross between Chuck Berry and Mississippi John Hurt. No pause. Fritz said, "Why don't you call it the Lovin Spoonful?" Which was, of course, a line from John Hurt's song, Coffee Blues. I love my baby by the Lovin Spoonful. I returned to my jug band roots in the 1990s. Fortunately, when I formed a jug band with Jimmy Vivino and James Wormworth, I was often able to include both Jeff Muldor and Fritz Richmond, along with an incredible harmonica player by the name of Annie Raines. Way down south in Memphis, Tennessee, that jug band music sounded good to me, 'cause it sounds so sweet. It's hard to beat. Yeah, jug band music certainly was a treat to me. You know, I was with my girl, I turned on my radio. That jug band music made me stomp down my floor, 'cause it sounds so sweet. It's hard to beat. Yeah, jug band music certainly was a treat to me. You know, I was with my girl, I put my hand on her knee. She said, if you can't play the jug, you can't play with me, 'cause it sounds so sweet. down south in Memphis, Tennessee. That jug band music sounded good to me, 'cause it sounds so sweet. It's hard to beat. That jug band music certainly was a treat to me. You know, I'm thinking you do a tune that's sort of in this genre. I'd love to hear you do it, Annie.
Well, I would love to do a tune because where this all started was with the women. A lot of people don't know this, but the first blues recording that was ever made in 1921 was Mamie Smith's Crazy Blues. And for the first 5 years of the blues craze, all the blues records were all made by women singers.
Well,
that's right.
It's coming back now in 2021. The same thing is happening.
That's right. So, being that the guys gave us the blues in the first place, we got a chance to give them back for a while. Are you ready, dear?
I'm ready, dear.
Okay. This song by Bessie Smith is called "You've Been a Good Old Wagon." Looky here, Daddy, I want to tell you, please get out of my sight. I'm playing quits now, and from this very night, you had your day. Don't stand around and frown. You've been a good old wagon, Daddy, but you done broke down. You better get to the blacksmith shop and get yourself over. There ain't nothing about you to make a good woman fall. Nobody wants a baby when a real man can't be found. You've been a good old wagon, Daddy, but you done broke down. When the sun is shining, it's time to make hay. I've seen mobiles that operate. You can't make that wagon pay. When you were in your prime, you like to run around. You've been a good old wagon, Daddy, but you done broke down. Why don't you take one, Cindy? Tell us what it's all about. There's no need to cry and make a big show. That man has taught me more about loving than you will ever know. He is the king of loving. That man deserves the crown. Woo, well, you've been a good old wagon, daddy, but done broke down. Let me tell you about it now. Honey, you've been a good old wagon.
Paul, you know, I remember the moment that our road manager at the time, who was a younger fella, had a cassette, and he put it on as we were driving home one day, and got through about 3 tracks of this cassette, at which point I said, "Who the hell is this guy?" And he said, "You know, he's a guy. He lives here. He lives here in Cambridge. I was assuming he was dead because nobody sounds this good who isn't dead." So that was my introduction to you, and I was so glad when it turned out that you were ready and willing to get involved in this little jug band project. And part of the fun was that Jimmy Vivino, who had been trying to help me because he knew he had to leave.
Right.
He and James Wormworth had to go with Conan O'Brien,
yeah, sure,
and that was a
yeah.
real gig. You can't say, "Oh, I don't know,
Yeah.
be in a jug band, have a national television show." You know, it's kind of tough.
I'm growing tired of the big city lights, tired of the glamour, and tired of the sights. In all my dreams I am roaming once more, back to my home on that old river shore. I am sad and weary, far away from home, miss the Mississippi and you, dear. Days are dark and dreary, and everywhere I roam, miss the Mississippi and you. Nothing seems to cheer me under heaven's dome. Mr. Mississippi and you. Memories are bringing happy days of yore, Mr. Mississippi and you, dear. Mockingbirds are singing round the cabin door, Mr. Mississippi and you, roaming the wide world over, always alone, so blue, so blue, longing for my homeland, muddy water shore, Mr. Mississippi and you. Yodelay, 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 Mississippi and you. Try that. Oh, thank you.
And folks, I'd like you to give a warm welcome to Joe Louis Walker, one of our favorites.
just walk a little bit.
I've got to leave you, darling. Honey, you and I are through. I've got to leave you, baby. Honey, you and I are through. I can't take it. Take these young girls' blues. Come on, Jimmy. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Whoa, whoa, whoa. I can't take it. Take these young girls' blues. Thank you so much. How about for John Sebastian?
Joe Louis Walker. You never know what's gonna come out of getting involved in a jug band. I found myself invited to a jug band when I returned from summer camp. And I said, guys, what's jug band music? I really didn't know. And they said, oh, don't worry, just show up at this place on 14th Street. We're going to have a rehearsal. And, you're the harmonica player.
This young group carries on that old-time jug band tradition as they play log cabin blues. Here are the Even Dozen Jug Band.
Now my log cabin is sitting on a hill, got the whiskey sugar baby from the whiskey still. Now come on down to my log cabin, ain't nobody there but me. Come on down to my log cabin, ain't nobody there but me. Come on down to my log cabin, ain't so far from me. Got a gal in yellow and looking green, she's the prettiest little woman that you ever have seen. Now come on down to my log cabin, ain't nobody there but me. In the water comes here, man, you have to meet my daughter. Come on down to my log cabin, ain't nobody there but me. Come on down to my log cabin, ain't nobody there but me.
Well, God made women and he made them mighty funny. Got a lips around the mouth as sweet as any honey.
Come on down to my log cabin.
Because I went to this 14th Street location, and yeah, there was a beautiful Italian girl. She lived right there on Bleecker Street. I try to persuade you, bring you around, show you to mama, eat uptown. But I know you'll just be my passing fantasy. I try to impress you, do what I can, talk some Italian to the sausage man. There will be, cloaked in steam, my passing fantasy. I keep on dreaming. Some tell me I'm just scheming about some other place in time, but I keep hoping that some door will open there. You'll say you'll be mine. So maybe tomorrow, maybe next year, might come a time my message comes in clear. But until then, we'll just pretend this passing fantasy, yeah. Some tell me I'm just scheming about some other place and time, but I keep hoping that some door will open there. You'll say you'll be mine. So here I am, struggling, honey, for something to say, watching my chances slowly slip away. I guess for me, honey, will just have to be my passing fantasy. I guess for me, honey, will just have to be my passing fantasy. Yes. And I have neglected, because I was not facing backwards, to realize that one of our real assets has not been on the stage yet. Please welcome Benson Sebastian. Wonderful.
Put me in, coach. Put me in, coach.
Ah, he just appears, like, you know? All right. Yo, man.
Yo.
I gotta love the fact that there's a stool upside down on. Benson is, you know, a real jug band person. He
just in case we need this.
He learned from Fritz Richmond. When you get into town, John and when we the old jug band, we'd get into town and John and I would find the nearest music store to get strings and look at guitars, and Fritz would say, "Where's the nearest hardware store? I need stuff. I need a wash tub. I need a washboard. I need a jug." I think Ben is kind of the same way. I'll make do. Well, you want to tune just enough, because it sounds like more guys when it's out of tune. We're going to do something that for years from a John Estes record that's been mislabeled as a Kokomo Arnold song called Milk Cow Blues. But it's really Leaving Trunk, and nobody really knows who wrote this. Everybody has done it, and so we recorded it, and we, of course, being the nerds we were, we called it the wrong name because John Estes did. But it's actually Leaving Trunk. Leaving trunk. I didn't see no whiskey, but the blues got me sloppy drunk. Went upstairs, Mama to pack my leaving trunk. No, I didn't see no whiskey, the blues got me sloppy drunk. Now, some say it was a D, some folks say it was the T, but the slow consumption killed me by degrees. Slow consumption killing me by degrees. I know that wasn't no DT. One said leave, other one said stay. Blues come around two kind of ways. One said leave, the other one said stay. Call it what you want.
I'm really enjoying having my kid up here.
Well, you know where he is.
Put up with a lot of crap when you get in that chair. And I'm appreciating it.
couldn't be more honored to be on this stage. I'm updating my bio tomorrow.
That's great. That's great. Yeah. Okay, you're gonna get mandolin.
What are you gonna eat this winter?
Yeah, that's right. Mandolin. Okay, we have material that nobody understands because we spent months with Yank Rishell, an 80-pluser mandolin man, played with Sleepy John Estes and.
No, Sleepy John played with him.
Yeah. Oh, that's right. That's right. That's right. Yeah. And Sonny Boy was in there in that little group, and they had a couple of really cool tunes. I remember one afternoon, Jimmy and James and I were in Indianapolis where we had found Yank Rishell.
In my kitchen, the rest I hang on my front door. Stop fishing in my kitchen, the rest I hang on my front door. My baby boy said that woman quit me. She done throw my cap outdoors.
Well, we got on a plane to Indianapolis along with Fritz Richmond and Wormy and Chris Anderson.
And then we got nicknames too.
And everybody got nicknames. That's right.
The greatest nicknames.
You were the New York man.
New York man. John the Baptist.
That's right. That was me.
Wormy.
Yeah.
And then Fritz was Jug Man.
That's right. That's Jug Man. Well, at a certain point, he said he was going to teach us a tune. Y'all know tapping that thing? I remember, Jimmy, you and I looked at each other. We're supposed to be the guys that know stuff.
Yeah.
And we had to turn back to Yank and go, no, Yank, we don't know tap that thing. Yank turns to us kind of disgusted and goes, well, it's in G.
Thank you.
That's right.
But it's really an F.
It's really an F.
Yeah. For us, it's F.
And he taught it to us. He said, tapping that thing is easy to do. You got that thing for your particular use. Tap that thing. Oh, tap that thing. Every morning at 8, you can hear me tapping that thing. Tapping in the morning, I was tapping at night. Tapping that thing. Tap it just right. Tap that thing. Oh, tap that thing. Every morning at 8, you can hear me tapping that thing. Come on, tap that little thing now. In the morning, a tapping at night, tapping that thing, tap it just right, tap that thing. Great God Almighty, tap that thing. Great God Almighty. Every morning at 8, you can hear me tapping that thing. You want to tap that a little bit now?
tie up my socks. Let's hear John the Baptist play that box. Tapping that thing. Tapping that thing. Every morning at 8, you can hear me tapping that thing. Get one.
We had a falling out, but y'all don't know what that was all about. He was tapping that thing.
He was tapping that thing.
Tapping that thing.
I was tapping that thing.
Every morning at 8, you can hear me tapping that thing. I was tapping that thing. Tapping that thing. Oh, tap that thing. Tapping that thing. Every morning at 8, you can hear me tapping that thing. The Jug Band waltz always makes me think of Fritz Richmond. We lost Fritz in 2005, but his impact remains. In fact, Jug Band music continues to inspire younger musicians, due in part to Fritz Richmond. He was the original hipster. As long as there's a jug, a wash tub, and a washboard, this unique form of good time music will continue to thrive. What do we do? Yeah, we're thinking the Jug Band waltz. Jug Band waltz, folks. That's it.